Hello, thanks for tuning in and welcome to the pool party. I hope you can swim because we're definitely diving into the deep end with a huge splash of truth, facts, evidence, information, and proof. Swim. Say what you mean. It's talk about talking. How we listen, how we hear, how we speak, how we hear what we're listening to when we speak, how a listener hears what we're saying, if what we're saying, what they're actually hearing and or understanding. Is it clear? Swim. Say what you mean. Well, that's just the beginning of understanding, because after we get that understanding, how do we accept it? How we respond if it's not what we expect is paramount. Are you okay with the truth? Are you man, woman, human, or spiritual enough to accept the truth? Let's find out. Welcome to the Swimming Pool with your host, Travis Bridges.
Well, hello, and good evening, and welcome to another edition of SWYM-ing. I am your host with the most, Travis Bridges, and this live stream is Talk About Talking. What do you mean, man? What are you saying? What do you mean, talk about talking? How do you talk about talking? Well, I'm glad you asked. Well, you talk because talking is the only way we can actually communicate with society. Found out that if you can open your mouth and put a couple of sentences together, that you can say to someone, hey, I am hungry, and then get something to drink. Well, from as far back as anyone can remember, that form of communication has been the best way to communicate. And I just happen to be a guy here in 2021 who has tapped into what it means to communicate. Looks like I'm having problems with my live stream. Am I or not? Gosh, I don't like that. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. Here's hoping you're having a wonderful night. Tough weekend and a tough week for me. I don't know about you, but man, I've been getting it and giving it. That's good and bad. I'm just going to be grateful for where I am and what I'm doing and just be thankful for it. How about you? How has your week been? Would you like to chat with me tonight? I have a few topics that I'm going to talk about. And if you would like to talk to me, send me a message. What's going on here? Is this, wow, this is pausing. Am I going to have to start over? Why is that happening? Video maintains smooth streaming something. I don't know what that means. But I can see I'm getting some pulsation. And my technician, though no one can actually tell me. I guess I'll just keep going. Maybe I shouldn't. Where am I technically? Oh, there we go.
Hello, thanks for tuning in and welcome to the pool party. I hope you can swim because we're definitely diving into the deep end with a huge splash of truth, facts, evidence, information, and proof. Swim. Say what you mean. It's talk about talking. How we listen, how we hear, how we speak, how we hear what we're listening to when we speak, how a listener hears what we're saying, if what we're saying, what they're actually hearing and or understanding. Is it clear? Swim. Say what you mean. Well, that's just the beginning of understanding, because after we get that understanding, how do we accept it? How we respond if it's not what we expect is paramount. Are you okay with the truth? Are you man, woman, human, or spiritual enough to accept the truth? Let's find out. Welcome to the Swimming Pool with your host, Travis Bridges.
And of course, that would be moi, Travis Bridges in the house. Here's hoping you are having a fantastic Wednesday evening. Guess what? I am, in spite of everything that's happening right now. Technical issues are a part of what you get when you're doing what I do. And I should be used to it by now because I've been in the business for a little while. And again, welcome. I am Travis Bridges. This is a Wednesday night edition of SWYM, Say What You Mean. And I just noticed that my intro said, I hope you can swim, because we're diving in deep. Well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to dive in pretty deep. If you can swim, that's good. SWYM. It's an acronym for Say What You Mean. And I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, but my sister was with me a few days ago. And just yesterday, I said something to her, and she answered me. And when she finished talking, I said, you realize you didn't answer my question? And she said, well, yes, I did. I said, well, no, I didn't. That's not what I said. And then she said, well, yes, I did. And I said, well, what did I say? She said, well, I don't remember exactly what you said. But I said, do you remember anything I said? And then she repeated something. I said, well, no, that's not what I said. Anyway, looks like I'm getting a signal issue here, and then it's going to be okay. But let me get my music going so I can get going, because I do have a guest coming up in a little bit. My other sister, Robin, is in the house. Hey, Robin, what's happening? Just want you to know that I've been trying to reach you, and I really don't like the idea that you're not there. You know, I don't know what you do all day or why you can't figure out how to work your phone. But I think you need to be able to do that, because I'm going to try to call you again. Maybe after my live stream tonight. Hopefully you'll answer. But tonight I have some topics, and I'm going to tell you what they are in a few minutes. As soon as I make sure that I'm going good. Looks like I'm transmitting good. Hey, Robin, if I'm transmitting okay, send me a message and say it's okay, because my monitor is not here. But I think it's going to be pretty cool tonight, because I had some funny stuff happen this week in the last few days, and I'm just kind of tripping myself out. You would never know that I was experiencing some really tough stuff, but I'm finding a way to make it last. You got to find a way. What you got to say? Break out. This song is from Swing Out Sister, and I remember playing this song when I was in radio in the 80s on an AM radio station back in North Carolina. I used to play this song, and of course, after I started playing the sax, I was like, I remember that song. I'm gonna play it, and it's in my repertoire, and when I brush up on it, I play it occasionally. Anyway, let me just talk about my subjects tonight, then I'm gonna get on with my caller. So, things people say and things people do is what we're going to talk about. And before I get into that, hey, if you'd like to chat with me, if you'd like me to analyze something, do me a favor. I'm getting a message. This is by one of my technical people. It's breaking up a bit intermittently, transmitting good now. Okay, I'm going to keep going either way. I'm not going to worry about it. If it works, fine. If it doesn't, I'm just going to keep going. Things people do, things people say. What was I saying before I answer that? Things people do. Oh yeah. If you want to talk to me, ooh, I'm all over the place tonight. If you want to talk to me, or have me analyze something or listen to something, send me an email, travisbridges2@aol.com. Let's see if I can find that on here. Right here. Yeah. Email travisbridges2@aol.com. Subject, call me. Leave your name and number. And guess what I will do? I will call you. And we'll talk. But tonight, okay, my topics is going to be things people do and say. And I have a few things. I'm going to start off with one once I get my caller on the line. And then my second topic is going to be the Bullies Day. There's this saying that goes like this: it's no fun when the rabbit's got the gun And that's pretty much, another way of saying, when you're the baddest one and you're in the hot seat, be nice to people, because the same people you see on your way up are the same ones you just might see on your way down. So we're going to talk about when a bully has his or her day, and there's no fun when the rabbit's got the gun. And we'll talk about that. Okay? So Robin said it's going good. And she's tuned in. Our monk has finally made it to the party. You know what I think it is about you? I think you like to make a grand entrance, like your aunt. Like to come in late, with a little flair here and there. And that's okay. We've determined that, people aren't difficult. Maybe they're just unique and particular. And that's okay. I love you anyway. Thanks for hanging out. All right. So I'm going to get my caller going. And before I do, I can't take a break. I can't do that. I need to find something to do while I get my caller, because in case they don't answer, I don't like for it to ring. And I'm still in the testing stages of my live stream. So let me just see if I can turn down the ringer for a little bit. Let me get this ready in case I have to hang up, so it doesn't give a phone number or a name. People still leave messages on their answering machine that says, sorry, I can't take your call. Please leave your name. Yeah.
You know how I am, Travis. I never answer.
Yeah, right. How are you?
I'm good. Hold on. I got to get you on my headset.
Really?
Get you. There we go. That's better. I'm good. How are you?
How long did you know I was going to be calling?
Say that again?
How long did you know that I was going to be reaching out and you were going to be my guest tonight? How long ago did you know?
30 seconds when I heard you say it.
Oh, so you didn't know earlier in the week or earlier in the day that I was going to catch up to you and we were going to talk?
Not at all. Did I?
Oh.
Did you let me know that?
Wow.
I definitely didn't know the topic either.
Well, we're not talking about the topic. We're talking about you being available between 9 and 10 Eastern Standard Time, and then I get you on the line. I'm concerned about delay, and then you say, hold on, let me put my headset in, or so whatever you said.
Well, I don't want to be reprimanded on live, You're
not being
sure
reprimanded. You're just being questioned. Why do you feel reprimanded?
No, I hear you. But that's why I'm taking you off the car thingy, because I want to make sure the communication is clear, brother. That's what we do, right?
Okay, now I'm brother. Okay. Brother. All right.
You're a lot of things.
Okay. Anyway, let's get started. You ready for my topics?
Man, I heard those topics. You sure you don't want to get TJ on the line or your brother or somebody?
No, remember, we're not talking personal. We're not naming our family, people's names. We're not doing that. Remember?
Yeah, I remember.
So how did you forget so fast?
It's been a busy day, man. School started down here, and it's crazy. It's busy, crazy. So cut me some slack tonight.
Cut you some slack?
Yeah.
Why?
You had a tough week? You don't know about my week?
Okay, so things people do and things people say. I think we should do it this way. I'm going to do one, and then I'm going to let you do one, okay?
I'm not good at this.
Well, just get good all of a sudden. You don't have to be good. All you just have to do is just
Can I just be your sidekick and laugh and and act to what you're saying?
So you don't have one of, well, let's see how it goes first, and then maybe you'll have one.
Oh, goodness. I hope somebody else call you and tell you they want to be on the air. Let's go. Let's do it.
Okay, things people do and things people say. One of the things that people do that I notice, and I don't want to say it get on my nerves, but it kind of bothers me, is that when people lick their fingers when they're cooking, serving, or sharing food. Like if someone's cooking and they go, or if they're serving you something and then they go, or if you're sitting with some popcorn or some chips and you say, hey, you want some? And they say, yeah. And then they eat some. And then they go, may I have some more? And then they stick those cans that they just licked back in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
I hear you.
Does that bother you at all in any kind of way, or no?
These times, it does. And, if it's somebody that I know and care about, I wouldn't mind too much. But, if it's a friend, an acquaintance, somebody who I'm hanging out with, and it's nasty. It's nasty, especially these days. But I must say, it is kind of a cultural thing, when we cook sometimes I remember my grandma sticking her finger in the food. Grandma's dead, okay? She's not listening to you. It's okay. And she will lick the food. She won't double dip though, but it goes in different ways. So you got to be open-minded about those things. But yeah, it's kind of nasty these days.
Okay, well, I guess I don't want to talk about the exception. I'm talking about the general rule. I guess if grandma's cooking, you got to be okay with whatever grandmas do. I'm not talking about grandma.
True.
I'm talking about your cousin Tyrone, who you offer them something and they lick their fingers or...
That's why I don't hang out with my cousin anymore.
I'm just having a tripping night. I was at my mechanic's shop one day, and he has these big bowls of pretzels that he gets either from Sam's or Costco, and they sit on his desk. I just thought just came to my mind. And, I said, hey, can I get a couple of those? They're like these pretzels, and they have like this filling inside, like peanut butter or something. And I said, hey, man, can I have some of those? And I said, okay. So I picked up a container and I poured out a few in my hand and I was holding them like this. And then I just started to, eat some. And he said,
right.
I appreciate Why am I tripping?
You can't have.
He said, I appreciate you doing that, because then he talked about the guy down in the dock down there. He said, I offered him some and he just stick his finger down and it brings him up. Anyway, so I'm gonna move on to the next one. Or do you have one? Are you ready?
Let me see. Things people do.
Or say.
Or say.
Yeah. So you're thinking.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So. No. I got one. And this is something that happens to me all the time, right? We have GPS these days, but people insist on giving you directions still, right? Especially if they're old school. You just take a left over there, and then you see the church, make a left, make a right, and then go all the way down. You cannot miss it. I'm like, okay. Now, I'm not listening to a single thing they're saying, because I figure I'm going to put it in the GPS, and I'm going to go to wherever the GPS say, regardless of your directions, right?
Right.
And they say you cannot miss it. I miss it every freaking time. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, yeah, I can miss it, even with the GPS direction. So that's kind of annoying to me, because they don't give you the exact direction. Then they give you directions that you cannot put in the GPS, and then they say you can miss it, and I miss it every single day. So I don't know. That's annoying to me. That's something that people do that I'm not crazy about.
Okay, yeah, that's one of those things also. Okay, here's one. Okay, you need to be thinking of another one, but stay engaged with me, okay? If you
No, I have to listen to you. I cannot be thinking while I'm listening.
Okay.
That's not good.
So here's the one. When someone is talking. Oh, hold on. Robin just said, what about turning the page, or when the cashier is giving you back change? Oh, yeah, that's serious. Like when you're waiting for your change and they go like this, and then they start counting your change back. Or when they're turning the page or something and they go, yeah. So thanks, Robin, for sharing that. But what I was going to say, so you ever have that, or do you see that when someone's licking their fingers when they're turning the page? Yeah,
when they're counting the money and then they give it to you, that's nasty. But remember, I cannot see what you're doing because I'm not watching you right now.
Oh, okay. No, you just imagine it. Okay, so the next one is things people say. And they say, when you're in the middle of talking, they'll say, well, you know what I mean, or you know what I meant to say, or what I meant to say. And when I'm listening to someone talk, and I'll say, well, no, I don't know what you mean, because I'm not inside your brain. And no, I don't know what you meant to say, because I can't think for you. And no, I don't know what you're saying, because you haven't finished saying it yet. So that's another one of those things. So I try not to say it, but I catch myself doing it. I think it's funny. So we're just kind of opening it up for discussion tonight. So you ever do that, or you ever hear someone say, "Well, you know what I meant"?
I do. I do see people doing that, and it's so scary. It is so scary because they could be talking about something very trivial, but people sometimes are talking about things that are very serious, and they're like, "Well, you know what I mean?" No, I don't. I really don't. Sometimes I do, but when we're talking about business or real stuff, I gotta no, you gotta break it down to me. For me, I just cannot read your mind. But yeah, that's
Hold
one
on
of
a
those
second.
things that we
Hold
do
on a
in
second. I don't mean to cut you off, but I
communication.
feel like singing. Hold on a second. Oh no, you kept going. I
Again?
got a long intro. I'm gonna see if I can remember this song, because I learn songs and then I learn the melody, and then I sometimes forget the words. All right, this is Charlie Wilson, and
Are
it
you
goes
giving
a
up
little
time,
something
though?
like this. I was
Goodness
rolling my
gracious.
car when I pulled up at the mall, couldn't find no place to park. Threw my keys to the valet. Yo, handle that for me. I was only there to hang, wasn't looking for a thing. I was just about to bounce. Then I saw Miss Lady, and I said to myself, okay, anyway, what were you saying?
I need Robin's phone number. I need to call her.
Okay, so I'm going to keep moving unless you have another one. How about this one? When someone says,
Go ahead.
I'll be there in 5 minutes, when they haven't even left home yet. Somebody say, I'll be there in 5 minutes, and then they're at least 30 minutes away. It kind of bothers me. Does that bother
Especially
you
they're
at all?
adults, right? Especially they're
speaking of
adults,
anyone-
and you're not a kid.
I'm speaking of anyone that says they're going to do something in 5 minutes and then they don't do it. Because
Right.
5 minutes to me is 5 minutes. And I guess maybe it's my radio background. Maybe it's, who knows, maybe it's one of those deep traumas that I discovered a few years ago. I don't know, but I still find a way when someone says they're going to be somewhere in 5 minutes or call me back in 5 minutes. I'm looking at my watch or looking at my phone, and I'm expecting them to be there, because guess what? If I tell you 5 minutes, I'm going to be 5 minutes. So what about you? Does that happen to you? Do you do it, or does it bother you?
It does bother me. It does. I figure the person is lying or they're being indifferent. I don't think it's a nice thing to do, but people do it all the time. It's a lack of respect, and if you don't have self-respect, you're not going to respect somebody else's time. So that's how I see those people, and it does happen.
Robin just gave me another one. She says, what about when you're going on a road trip with somebody and they say, follow me? Oh my God. I should have called this night laughing. When somebody's on a road trip or somebody say, hey, I know how to get there, and you follow them. What's wrong with me? And then they go through the light or the stop sign and leave.
90 miles an hour. Yep. No directional, nothing.
Right.
They don't even tell you they're going to turn.
People actually do that. So, yeah, it's
All the
another one of
time.
those things people do. Okay, it's your turn. I have another one. Go ahead.
I told you I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this at all.
So
I
you
mean,
don't have
I can
one.
add to what you're saying.
So you don't have one.
I'm thinking. No, go ahead. I'm still thinking.
Okay, because I'm going to run out in a few minutes, and then we're not going to have any. We're almost halfway.
Then we're
through.
going to go deep on something else.
Okay, so how about this one? This is another good one. That was a good one, Robin. How about this one? How about somebody says, like, hey, I'm busy. I'm going to a birthday party tomorrow. It's my sister's birthday. And then say, oh, what's tomorrow, the 17th? And then say, yeah. They say, oh, you know what? My cousin's birthday is on the 17th, too.
Completely unrelated. Unrelated.
Why does everybody throw their birthdays in when someone mentions a birthday? Well, when's your birthday? Oh, it's on the 12th. Oh, well, my uncle's birthday is on the 14th, and his sister's on the 15th. And you know what? My two
And his
next-door
wife
neighbors-
was on the 27th. Yeah.
Right. So
Crazy.
there we go.
Why do
So-
we do that, Travis, though? What? Let's get into that. Why do we do those things? Do you think it's a nervous thing, or it's a lack of, being present? What's that about?
I'm not sure, but I'm going to take a stab at it. So tell me exactly what you're asking so that I can be sure of what you're saying. Because the topic
Well,
is things people do and say, not why they do it. So you still have two more to go. And as much as I'd love to acknowledge you, I don't want to get off subject because if we start getting into why, I'm going to be almost out of my lane and I might even offend myself by saying, well, you do this because I don't know. I don't know why
well,
people say they're going to be there in
do any
5
of those
minutes.
things? Do you do any of those things?
Which ones are you talking about? You didn't have any.
I don't know any of them.
You didn't present any to me, so I don't know. So our monk
Now I
just
have to
comes
go with
into
what
the
you
room
got.
and she says, "Wow, what is the wow for? You know what is the wow? I think let's see. I don't know. I don't like these little side things like that. Anyway, so let's move on. Unless you have another one. You have another one?
No. No, I can't think of any. Well, okay, this is a drinking one.
Which one?
I invite somebody for a drinking one. You
Okay.
you invite a friend or you go out for drinks. I'll get the next round, right? Okay, well, I got the first round. I order myself another round, and credit card ain't coming out, cash ain't coming out. It's like, bro, I thought you were gonna get the next round. What's up with that? And again, it's things people do, but it's like, well, I thought we came to an agreement. It's kind of a casual conversation, but then it almost becomes like a lack of trust because now you're not doing what you said you were going to do. But anyway, you know me, I take everything a little deeper and, I know you don't want to get too serious, but that's just one of my pet peeves. You say you're going to get the next round, get the next round. Or next lunch date. Hey, I got us last time. Now it's your turn. So people don't do it.
I think I know why people do that, though. That's a pretty easy one. If someone is running
go
a little
for it.
low on funds and, the party is rocking and they're not ready to go home, they may want to stay around the campfire a little bit longer. And if you got the first one, it's like chances are maybe you can get the second one. That's a chance they take.
Oh, that's foolishness. If you want to have fun, then bring your own cash or your credit card. Don't be having fun on my tab. You say you're going to take the next round. I don't care, man, woman. You take the next round. I'm not taking people out to eat or to drink for fun. We want to have a good balanced party. We all have to jump in.
Okay, so Robin has another one. I'm going to address hers, and then we're going to go on to the total other topic. And I think I can see what she's trying to say before I finish it. But she says, the cookout starts at 5, but the food is not ready till 7. That's why I eat before I get there. And on top of that, they ask you to bring the hot dogs and the buns for the guests I come to enjoy. Yeah, so if the cookout starts at 5 and the food is not ready till 7, I guess that's one of those where you need to know who the host is. Or maybe you can just ask the question, okay, because if it starts at 5, I'm not sure if a cookout, you're supposed to get there and just eat, but why not? If it's a cookout, you're supposed to eat when you get there, not wait. That's what
At least have a snack, man. Have some appetizers or something.
Right. And they say, okay, we're going to have a cookout. I want you to bring the steak.
True.
And all the drinks. And then we're going to have a cookout. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to invite somebody to my house, and I'm going to tell them to bring all the food, and I'm going to have a cookout. That's another good one. Okay. All right. I've had enough fun being silly. I'm going to see if I can switch gears and get serious. Do I have some serious music? Let me see if I can change to some serious music. Hold on. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SWYM. It's the acronym for Say What You Mean. I am your host, Travis Bridges, and tonight we have been talking about things people do and things people say. Some of those things were funny, some of those things I could relate to, some of those things I actually do and did and have said myself, and some of those things just irk the heck out of me.
Sunshine. Yes, okay.
So now that we're through the first half of the hour and I've laughed my way through that, I'm going to go into the second half of the hour with the serious part. You know that saying when people say, it's no fun when the rabbit's got the gun? That derives from the old hunter story, when the hunter's in the woods and he's got the advantage of all the animals and he's walking through with his gun and he's taking them out. And then one day, somebody starts to shoot at him. And that's where the saying comes, it's no fun when the rabbit's got the gun. And that just crosses right on over to, I was talking about when the bully has his or her day. There's something about people that like to take over and run people and treat them bad because they have maybe the upper hand. I often watch shows on TV or in the movies, and I see someone actually offending someone or violating someone in some kind of way. And right in the middle of maybe, someone taking over someone's, possession or whatnot, someone just flipped the script. And then they have to be the one to endure the same kind of stress that maybe they're putting on someone else. That's why it's good to be good to people and, be careful, how you treat people. So the topic is when a bully has his or her day, and it's no fun when the wabbit's got the gun. Anthony Morrow is in the house, and our monk is here. I don't know what those symbols are, but thanks for posting them. I appreciate it. You want to jump on either of those two before I get going? When a bully has his or her day, and when the rabbit has the gun, how the fun is no longer fun. Okay, go.
Okay. So let's go with the rabbit, right? And the rabbit in this case is the person that has been being bullied for a long time or hunted, right? So now the rabbit has taken over the weapon and they're using it to inflict some, distress, let's say, to keep it light. But I almost call that righteous anger. Have you ever seen that? Like when people, they're righteously angry. It's like, I got the gun now. I'm going to show you how it feels. I'm going to show you what I've been going through all this time. And all of a sudden they get this adrenaline rush and they just go after it. And it may be the little guy or it may be a big guy or it may be whoever. But yeah, shoot. If you've been hunted all your life and all of a sudden you get a little bit of power, what do you think you're going to do with that? Oftentimes people use it for vengeance and to inflict the same pain that they felt they have received. So it's a funny thing that people do. It interrelates. There's always a reason why people act the way they act.
I'm going to go on record and say, I don't know, maybe it's my personality, but I'm usually the guy that will try to bring peace to a situation instead of aggravating it. I get accused sometimes of being difficult or particular, and I understand why, because I will definitely hold someone accountable to what they are actually saying or doing. And I'm not the one who just lets up easy, but I don't think I inflict on anything on anyone. So I'm going to go on record and say I have been bullied before, and I think not to be religious right now, but there's a scripture from one of my favorite books that says, "Vengeance is mine, thus saith the Lord." And, even as a child, I've always been the one to say, okay, well, their day is coming. Every dog has its day, is what I say. So, yeah, I guess when people are kind of psycho in their head a little bit, and maybe they've been getting it, from, both ends or the middle and the back and the front, when they change hands, maybe they do inflict that same thing, but I don't do that. So no, I wouldn't be the one to do that. So there we go.
Well, but let's talk about some definitions, because we talk about truth, we talk about peace, we talk about communication, but the truth of the matter is that everybody has different styles, and people may receive, and this is beyond your control, okay? But people may receive an offense or feel pain or feel discomfort or feel whatever because of something that you do. You cannot control how they're feeling. Now, I must say, when it comes to communication, if I want to make sure you hear what I say, I have to watch my tone. I have to watch my delivery. I have to watch how I'm going to bring this to you so that you get the essence of what I'm saying and what I'm feeling when I'm saying it. Sometimes we want to be direct, we want to be straight up, and we just throw it on the table. You know, you can tell somebody, hey, man, I love you, I care about you, and just throw it on the table. Well, you know, you got to present that a little better, man. You know, if you really want me to see that in you and feel that you're really saying that, then you got to present it in a way that is somewhat appetizing. I think in communication we have to do that.
Okay.
Am I way off? Way off topic? I mean, I'm just telling you what it is because I do appreciate what you do when you talk about the truth and you talk about bringing peace and you talk about reconciliation. But we all have our truth. We really do, and we all have, you know, different styles of communication and different love languages. And
okay, I need to interrupt you. Okay, you said
ahead.
we all have our truth. Without, you know,
We do.
Okay, I hear you. Explain to me what you mean as short as you can. What do you mean we have our truth? Give me 30 seconds.
Many of our truths come out of our narrative, and we have talked about that in the past. And on the show, what is our narrative becomes our truth, whether it's true or not, whether it's factual or not. So if you want to persuade somebody from that truth, because that truth is completely distorted, it's based on their trauma, it's based on their previous relationship, it's based on a lie, right? On a tyrant or some communist government that's been feeding them lies, but that's the truth. So how are you going to persuade me to listen to the real truth? And I think that's where that good book talks so much about, you know, how we express love, how we show love. Because if you're going to persuade somebody, you have to do it in a way that is kind, that is loving, that that person is going to receive. I know.
Okay.
I know.
Okay, I don't want to say it bothers me, but, you know, I guess you could have a conversation all night when you start talking about someone else's truth. Well, I don't know about someone else's truth. There's only one truth. And in society, we have come up with what is considered universal. It's true that the speed limit is 65. That's true. We've established that, you know, in the handbook of driver's education. We've established it by certain ordinances and laws on the highway. So I don't care what your truth is. That is the truth as it relates to you driving a vehicle with a driver's license from a particular state that has the ability to enforce that. So without going deep into that, when someone starts talking about, you know, someone else's truth, you know, how you feel, what you think, what you believe about a situation, you know, can't be the leading factor when it comes to at least getting to the bottom of a situation. And you're right. That is what I'm here to try to bring awareness to, especially in times of conflict. You can't have your truth because that's your ego and that's maybe your pride or that's just your belief or your thoughts. And sometimes, you know, our thoughts and feelings and belief is why we have some of the problems that we have. So I hear you. And I'm going to give you an opportunity again to expound again on that. What is my truth, and how do you solve any kind of conflict when you're dealing with my truth or someone else's truth when you're looking for the truth? Because based on my last check-in, there's only one truth, and that truth is the way, the truth, and the light or the life. So what do you mean, my truth? What do you mean?
Let's go back to the rabbit. Okay? Let's go back to the rabbit. The rabbit is being hunted for weeks, for months. His brothers and sisters are being killed. Now he gets the gun. That's his truth. That is his truth. He's lived in that forest. He's been hunted for a very long time.
Hold on a second.
Gets that gun and that righteous anger
Hold on a second. Hold on. So I hear what you're saying, but that's his experience. The word true, if you look it up, and I'm not looking it up, I'm based on what I think it means. It means absent from any kind of lie or untruth. So when you're using that as an example, are you saying, okay, that's the rabbit's experience? How do you get to that
Correct.
being the rabbit's truth?
That is his truth. That is his truth. That's what he has experienced this entire life. Let me tell you something. The laws and what's in the books.
That's not just his truth. That is the truth. It just so happened to be with him. If maybe by chance, okay, I know what you're saying, and I don't want to get too caught up in it. I'm trying to stay away from personalizing the truth versus someone else's thoughts. So
I understand, and I do agree with you that it's people's.
You just gave an example of an experience, and I get it. It can be a truth, but that's kind of veering off. I'm trying to stay as focused as I can. So, let me just ask you this question: Is there more than one? I don't know. Anyway.
I got you. No, listen. I understand what you're saying, but and I understand it's complex. But I'm gonna even make it a little bit more complex so that you see how not easy that is. This is the social construct, okay, that we create. Social construct means that the laws in the book is because a man put it in the book. So I could be going 80 miles an hour, and the only reason why I'm getting a ticket is because somebody decided that 55 is the fair way to go. That's it. Somebody decided that. It's a social construct. We create truth in society. But again, as individuals that we are,
hold on a second.
We want to make our own truth.
Hold on. Can you hold on a second? We create
Absolutely.
Laws in society. Truth has been the truth before the foundation of the earth. We appreciate what we create in society is principles and laws, standards, based on our society. But the truth has always been we abide by what by the truth. So how do we create truth?
Well, I don't know where in the Bible it tells me what speed limit to drive on. I mean, hey, and we can talk about laws, or we can take it back to human principle and experiences. And my experiences are often going to dictate how I think and how I feel and what I value, whether it's true or not. It's my truth. It's my experience. So if my truth and my experience is that, the sky is red, and you want to enlighten me, you want to bring me to really that truth that whoever, this is not the truth. The sky is not red. How you approach me and how you deliver that, or approach anybody and deliver that news, the very enlightening fact, has to be in a way that is persuasive for the other person, that is not going to inflict, that is not going to make matters worse and make that person become defensive and aggressive and hostile. Because then really that person is going to stay blinded forever. They're not going to be open to really receiving the real truth. And I think that's the key of communication, that, when we communicate, we don't want people to just hear our words. We want them to feel the spirit behind those words. That's powerful and persuasive.
Well, I don't think it's my responsibility to determine how or if a person receives the truth. It's probably my responsibility, if I have the stand in any kind of platform, to deliver the truth, how someone receives it. And I'm going to go on your example just now. If in 2021 you tell me that the sky is red, I'm sure on some day, it can look a red color or hazy in some kind of way, but it is established, from a basic principle perspective, that, we can refer to the sky on a clear day as blue. For you
True.
to say,
And
go ahead.
no, you're right. And then what does that good book tell us to do when we cannot persuade somebody to hear the truth, to listen to the truth, to see the truth? We are supposed to take the dust of our sandals and keep it moving, right? We move on. Because you're right, it is not my responsibility, but it is my responsibility when I go to bed at night to know that I did everything within my power, including packaging it in a way that is nice, that is gentle, that is presentable, so that it will be appetizing for that person to eat it,
Okay, I just want to
to
respond.
believe the truth.
Okay. So are you suggesting that you take on the responsibility of catering to someone's emotions? I'm not sure what you're saying. I think I hear you, and I want to stay as focused as I can. If I'm presenting something.
And I'm going to give you an answer. I'm ready to give you an answer. The answer is yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because I care
Yes, you do
enough
what?
about, I do cater to people's emotions at times. Absolutely. I will
Well,
entertain
your
it.
key word
Is
just
that-
now, you changed it. We were speaking generally, and then you said yes, and then you said at times. Well,
No,
what if
because
you-
at the end, the good book tells me if that person does not listen and that person does not want to receive what I'm bringing to the table, and I set up the whole table with my entire china, and they don't want to eat from it, then I have to take the dust off my shoes and keep it moving. I have to bring it to the next person that is willing to see it, that is willing to ingest it. And I'm going to continue to present it really nice because it is my responsibility to help, to nourish, to feed somebody's soul and to bring them to light from darkness. But if they don't want to have anything to do with the real truth, because I do believe the truth and I do read the same book you read, so I am committed. But at the end of the day, if that person refuses to engage or to eat from it, I have to walk away because I have a big harvest. I'm not going to stay in the same hole digging and throwing stuff in and the seed is not growing. Can't do that. That foolish people do that. You got to move on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, we are a little early right now, but I will go into my mode of thanking you for hanging out with me. Of course, you do believe that I appreciate you, right?
All the time, man. Of course I do.
I do. I thank you. It's Wednesday. We have 2 more days left in the week before it's the weekend. What are your plans for the next 2 days?
Survive. Seriously. Survive. School is back in session and work is far away and, I'm looking to relocate to another area. So it's going to be a very interesting week, and it's already been. But, I take it one day at a time. I try not to overwhelm myself. At the end of the day, I don't have the last say. I think, the universe and God definitely, call the shots sometimes. So sometimes you just have to be still and know, and I'm okay with that. I have no problems with that. So what about you? What are you up to?
Robin just made a statement, and she says it all depends on the individual whether or not they are willing to receive correction.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. And we have to stand on that, and we have to be wise enough. Listen, the currency of relationships is time, energy, and sacrifice. When you put in the time, the energy, and the sacrifice to bring people to the light or to create some sort of harmony within a misunderstanding, a relationship, or whatever, once you've done that, if they don't want to see it, they don't want to come to the light, or they don't want to be in your terms or in anybody's terms, you have to walk away. I mean, this is basic negotiation rules. You can't, some vendors are just not going to go for your price or go for, and that's okay. But it's a little different when you're talking about relationships and, family and loved ones. It gets a little bit more complex, but, that's where, again, you have to be still and know, and you have to know your truth. Once you know your truth, you know where you are. And, if people don't want to see it, they want to be delusional and, live in their own little world, because that's what saves them. Remember, we put ourselves in a bubble because we feel safe. I'm working in an office where I'm working with people that they're walking around with a blanket on them. It's like, really? Is it that cold? Get a jacket. Because when I see you walking around with a blanket, I'm thinking there's something wrong with you. Bring a jacket. This is an office. This is not your living room, But people do stuff like that because they need to feel safe, especially if they're insecure. We use different blankets, we use different delusions, and we create our own narrative. That's all survival mode. We need to survive where we stand, and we need to survive with the discomfort. So we oftentimes throw on a blanket or smoke a cigarette or have a joint or drink a bottle, That's what we do. We cope. And sometimes those coping mechanisms are not healthy,
Okay, we have just a couple more minutes, and I'm just going to respond to one thing you said, because I heard a lot of things that's got my brain going. But you said walk away, and you said that about 3 different times, and I heard you clearly. And I tried to apply that to myself. I don't think I'm going to walk away from anything or anybody. I'm just going to walk,
Okay.
So thanks for sharing that. But I think I got something out of everything you just said, although I may have only understood about a small portion of it. But when you made the comment about walking away, and you made the comment, you said it a few times. I'm thinking walking away.
I did.
Yeah. Walking away has strong context to it. But again, back to my point, I'm going to say thank you, and I'm going to let you go. I appreciate you, right?
I appreciate you too, man. You're really doing the good work. Hey, listen, wait, before you go, did you call, well, you were getting ready to get this on, kind of going maybe a year ago, a month ago. Did you call Massage Envy to test your system? Did you do that? You randomly call a business so that you could test if your online thing was working. I'm not making this up.
Talking about.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
What are you asking me?
There was a time when you were testing your system, and it's online. I mean, you can see it. You were testing your own computer, and you were having conversations with different people. And you're like, let me see if this thing works. But the reason why I bring that up is because that's how committed you were. You're like, man, I got to test this. I got to make sure that I can have a conversation. And you call Massage Envy, and you told the girl, hey, listen, you're on the line. You're on my live show. And you had a whole conversation with her. And she laughed. She thought it was funny. But I'm saying that's how committed you were to get this thing off the ground. So, hey, I got to hand it to you, man. You're committed.
Okay. Well, you have yourself a good night. And thank you so much. I appreciate you.
All right, Travis. Be good. Bye.
Okay, take care. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for another edition of SWYM. Say what you mean. Always try to do that. It's important to say what you mean. Sometimes we can say what we feel. We can say what we think. We can say what we believe. We can even say what we think someone else wants to hear. We can even go so far as to say, but just say what you mean. Think about what you're saying before you're saying, and then speak clearly. And if someone doesn't understand you, by all means, be willing to repeat yourself. always look for the truth. I heard something this morning on one of my motivationals. Les Brown, one of my favorite motivational speakers, he said something, and that's what I'm going to leave you with tonight. Thank you for hanging out with me. I noticed that I do get a few more listeners and viewers than what I see in the room live. But he said something today that was really cool. He said, the next time your heart and your mind has a argument, allow your heart to lead you out of it. And I got that. I resonated with that. Of course, I'm dealing with something personal myself. And also Bishop T.D. Jakes, and another one of my motivations today. I do listen to them throughout the day. He said something in regards to giants. You know, you can't really find out who you are until you face a giant, or until you are facing a rough time. So I can relate to both of those. But I'm going to leave you with what I heard today. The next time your heart and your brain or your mind has an argument, follow your heart. Because your heart is 9 times out of 9 going to be real strong, especially if it is looking for the truth. Your mind will go all over the place. Robin says amen. She says true. She says enjoy one day at a time. And I appreciate you, Robin. I appreciate you, everybody else that's been with me tonight. Till the next time, do me a small favor. Find someone that you need to say I love you to, and don't just say it. Find a way to show it. If you'd like to chat with me, or if you'd like to share a topic that you'd like for me to address, send me an email to travisbridges2@aol.com. I've got a long week. I've got a long rest of the month. I've got about 4 more months that I'm going to be involving myself in a serious project. Got something going on right now that's really going to be good, including, working on my project and my book and a little YouTube series I'm putting together. I'm just thanking you in advance now for your support. Till the next time, take good care of yourself, and do me a small favor. Have yourself a good night. Okay? Bye.